Welcome to this abrupt entrance to Kirby 64 in the Crystal Shards Aquastar Level 3. We're on the beach. We're using a brand new power, made possible by combination of rock and cutter. This is Sculptor Kirby.
Yes, Statue Kirby. Statue Kirby has the ability to transform into a bunch of different animal friends, specifically the ones from Dreamland. Hey, Koo.
Koo, he may not be able to move very far on the horizontal, but he's a master of the vertical.
Very much so. Although Rick actually has the highest jump height in the game, assuming you know what the fuck you're doing with him.
Yep, and that was Rick we were just playing
Gooey.
as. She stomps.
Actually, no, that isn't Gooey. That's not Gooey. I forget what her name is. Is it Chew? It might be Chew.
You got me. Oh, as powerful as these stone creatures are, they will dissipate when they get hit by enemies.
And this is Nyako.
You definitely don't want to take your chances while you're going over a hazard as dangerous as these pincers here. Good use of Stargate.
I think that's all the ones that you get access to. You get Rick, Nyago, Chew, Pitch, and Koo.
So a whole quintet of friends, which Kirby will emulate using his special powers.
And I think the actual best one to use for mobility's sake is actually Pitch, because Pitch gains the invulnerability for stone as well as, a decent amount of flight time.
I like his little waggle back and forth as he walks.
Nyago does have the double jump, though, which is nice.
Come here. Yeah. I want to hug you. Yeah. Incoming Statue Kirby hug. But his hug is most dangerous, as he will blow to pieces anything he attempts to hug. Something of a Kirby,
Broly.
like Kirby King Midas.
So is there any reason why you decided to show off a Statue Kirby for this level, Mr. Cloud?
Oh, it's because it's new. I was being spontaneous. However,
but you do recall that we need to have Statue Kirby for a Crystal Shard later, right?
Later in this very level, that is correct.
Oh, okay.
See, dramatically, Past Cloud does not know that at this point because Past Cloud had not played this game in quite some time. Present Cloud has the advantage of having gained the experience at the time when Past Cloud had played this game. So Present Cloud knows that you need Sculptor Kirby in order to get a Crystal Shard in this level. However, it's not.
Next one, actually. Huh.
It's just unfortunately not abundantly clear by this level clearing exactly how to do it. Because it's one thing to have the power, you also need to know how to use it.
Yeah. The reference is honestly the reference is fine, to be perfectly honest, especially them gaining their special individual quirks. The issue is that you don't get any tutorial for this, so.
Well, they want you to experiment,
But experimenting with this is. Oh, hi, Kine.
Oh, so there's a sixth pal.
Yeah, Kine is a fish, so yeah, he can't actually do anything. Unless you're in the water, and then when you're in the water, I think he's got increased swim speed over normal Kirby.
You have to be pooping me right now.
What?
I didn't know that. Some experimentation is required. I find also that Kine is the least likely pal that you end up as, because when he's above ground, he's about as useless as a level 19 Magikarp.
Whoa. Level 19 Magikarp has tackle. Come on.
Actually, I find that the most useless Magikarp in all Pokemon would be a level 100 Magikarp.
I mean, he still does have tackle, and he probably has bounce at that point.
But I say so not because his stats are necessarily leave much to be desired, although they usually do, because Magikarp is one of the worst statted Pokemon in all of Pokemon. Level 100 Pokemon can't level up anymore, so you cannot get Gyarados from a level 100 Magikarp.
But if you have a level 100 Magikarp, you can more or less take down the Elite Four with him.
This sounds like a YouTube video project. Can you defeat the Elite Four with just a level 100 Magikarp? Watch our video and find out.
Like, especially not in Generations 1 or 2, because all he's got for attacks in Generations 1 and 2 is tackle. But starting from Gen 4 and onward, I'm pretty sure he can do it. Hey,
here's
you got rid of Statue Kirby.
Yeah, I did this video later because I actually screwed up not just once but 2 times at getting the Crystal Shard, because the pit opens up next to the boss. If you fall into the pit, you can't go back to this room. If you proceed to the next room without getting the Crystal Shard, you can't get it. Now, are there any other stupid crap in this room I should be aware of?
Okay, now we are back to now we're back to Statue Kirby, and in order to get this one, first you need to break through the wall.
Right. So you break through the wall. Okay. Well, I made it this far.
You got the one up. Very nice. But unfortunately, regardless how much you try, Kirby cannot make this hover on his own. You need to transform into Rick.
Correct. You have to transform.
Cloud, I said you need to transform into Rick.
I did not transform into Rick on my first visit through this level.
Oh, okay.
So there's between a 16 and like 20%. Damn it! There's between a 16 and 20% chance that when Kirby uses the Sculptor powers, that he's going to turn into one of the 6 animal friends. And only one of those animal friends will allow you to get the Crystal Shard.
Right, and it's Rick. Rick has the ability to infinitely climb walls, and it is an ability you would not know that he had if you just played Crystal Shards on its own. But it is a confirmed thing. It is a carryover skill from Dreamland. I forget which Dreamland. I want to say it's 2 and 3.
You know, that's a good point of conversation right there. Which power would you rather have to discover in order to get a Crystal Shard for 100% completion? Is it Rick's ability to climb walls infinitely, or is it Kind's ability to swim?
Well, Kind's ability to swim is never actually important.
Right, but neither is Rick's, except
Rick,
that there's a Crystal Shard attached to it.
But that's the thing. Rick's ability to climb walls infinitely actually does allow you to explore levels significantly better than Klein's ability to swim. This is actually the only level in the entire game where Klein's ability to swim even almost matters because of how much time you spend underwater for this level. And even here, well, Kirby is acting more or less like he has infinite flight for this level. So.
Now that you mention it, Kind's ability to swim would be really convenient because Kirby also gets one hit before he would start taking damage as long as he's in rock form. That would be pretty sweet because there are a lot of hazards going through this level, and yes, it is true. This entire level takes place underwater. So you can use Kind's ability throughout this entire level. Hell, you could even crush enemies as you go along if it's really that powerful. I'm just saying that I think they made the good design choice by making Rick's the only power that is required to figure out how to get a Crystal Shard. I think that figuring out that Kind has to swim, considering that I've been playing this game for a long time, I didn't know that that he could swim. I think I would have rather just use Rick's power than have to figure that out first.
I don't know. I think having the reference is honestly a good idea, but it needed to have been actually telegraphed because a lot of people didn't actually play Dreamland 2 and 3. So the animal friend abilities are something that if you come into Crystal Shards don't actually make all that much sense to you, because if you play specifically if you play Kirby Superstar, you understand that Stone has always had a statue tie-in for it. So the statue power doesn't honestly seem all that different from just a normal stone, except sometimes you end up with an animal buddy that you can actually move around with, which is cool.
Right. That's an evolution on the original stone ability. On the subject of telegraph, one way that they could have telegraphed that you have to use Rick is they would have had to you missed the crystal shard, Kirby. They could have, like, put a sign up that had a picture of Rick on it, which honestly I think would have been the only way to do it, because we have not had any verbal instructions on screen since the tutorial for the game, which was almost like 3 whole in-game hours ago. So, to say specifically, you know, to put a sign up that said Rick, well, then you say, like, well, who's Rick? Nice to meet you. I'm Rick. Because I didn't play Kirby's Dream Land 2.
Or 3.
There. Or 3. So the reference was utterly lost on me. Get the fudgicle... safety. Feels good to have just a wee bit of chocolate.
Alright, Bomberfish. Oh, you died against Bomberfish.
Yeah, because I only had 2 hits, and... Cutter is not a very useful ability to use against this boss, because this boss never stops moving. If the boss was stationary, then you could just stand still and take him out like I have done for our other bosses. But this guy, you do not want to sacrifice any amount of mobility in order to fight this boss.
I don't know.
Because Kirby moves slow.
Like, Kirby specifically has the ability to, you know, bait his projectiles. So if you can actually, as long as you can actually see the mini boss, you can plan out an attack method relatively simply.
Enemy. And then it's an enemy. It's an enemy. It's an enemy.
All right.
It's an anomaly. Okay, it's to the right. The exit is to the right. Very good. Now Kirby must struggle against the current.
And
Will he gather all the
giant
stars?
rock boulders.
Watch out for the boulders. These guys hurt quite a bit. Use the safety chasms above and below. Get the fudgesicles and try to collect as many level up stars as you can. Owie. Well, get that. Yeah. Ow. We're going down. Dangerous. Okay, there's the first boulder. Big boulders are hard to avoid. Little rocks are easier to avoid. Yeah, it's like a Mario Party minigame.
Yay! Got the crystal shard.
Nice. Hiding in plain sight.
Alright, in the next episode, we'll finish up Aquastar. At least I think so.
We will be finishing up Aquastar, yes.
Now, I believe we're fighting one of my least favorite bosses next. And you missed
Yeah.
the one-up again. Oh well, be safe, everybody.